What if your agents could not only view, manage, and launch your Android emulators and iOS simulators and get your apps up and running, but what if they could see your applications and interact with them? Meaning that you could work with your agent to implement a feature and then have the agent boot up your devices and interact and test the features that it just implemented. And better yet, what if this was integrated directly into the GitHub Copilot application through the Canvas layer? So you had your agent running and seeing your emulators and simulators and interacting with them side by side the agent. That is what the brand new mobile device plugin does. It's a series of MCP servers and Canvas for the GitHub Copilot app. So it can be used anywhere, but adds rich functionality in the GitHub Copilot app to manage all of it and see it directly inside of the app. I'm going to show you how to install John Dick's brand new plugin from the marketplace and how to get it all set up in seconds. So let's get into it. All right, the place to get started is John Dick's mobile Canvas GHCP repo. This is all for putting iOS and Android emulators and simulators directly inside the GitHub Copilot app's Canvas, but also he exposes an MCP so you can actually have any agent control, launch emulators, simulators, and a lot more. So that is really, really neat. In fact, he not only has the outline here of everything for how the Canvas works, including how to install it with the plugin marketplace, which I'll walk through with you. He also goes through how to install it through like the CLI, for example. He walks through all the things that it does, exactly how it works, and any additional bits and pieces that you may need to install on your machine. Obviously, if you want to do iOS simulators, you're going to need Xcode and iOS simulators. But on Windows and Linux, you can go ahead and do Android development directly inside the Canvas. So here he'll tell you all the other additional requirements you may need. But if you're doing iOS and Android development natively with .NET MAUI or React Native or anything like that, you'll have everything you probably need, maybe one or two additional install steps. You can also directly install it from the code or in .NET Global tool, and there's tons of agent tools built in. So discovery, lifecycle, input, media, stopping and starting recordings and screenshots. And of course, you can just configure it to any MCP here too. So whatever you want to do, boom, it's totally good to go. So let's go ahead and install it inside the GitHub Copilot app. I'm going to go ahead into plugins here, and we're going to go ahead and add it as a new marketplace first. When we add it as a marketplace, we're just going to paste in the repo here. And that is because marketplaces could have additional sort of plugins. And in this case, there'll be a single plugin that we have. So here's the mobile Canvas GHCP, and then we install that plugin. So install the marketplace, install the plugin. And that's going to give us the Canvas and also the MCP server, anything else in that plugin bundle. So here I've already gone ahead and started a session directly building the application up, which will make it faster when I want to deploy my, in this case, .NET MAUI Android application. And I'm just going to go ahead and sell it to go ahead and open the mobile canvas. Now it's going to attempt to find the mobile canvas and may inquire like, oh, I can't find it. Just tell it to refresh the canvases or start a new session and that canvas list will refresh. And here we go. The mobile canvas is up and running. Let me go ahead and collapse this down and make it a little bit bigger. From here, you can always go into this plus button and go to extensions, and you'll see the canvases, and that's where the mobile device is. But here we have all of our Android emulators listed right away, and they're both shut down currently. If I was on my Mac machine, I would see my iOS simulators here too. So let's go ahead and pick one. I'm going to pick my test Android device. And directly from here, I could actually create a new Android emulator if I wanted to. I can go into settings and I can set the different scale resolutions or light or dark mode, which we'll come back to that in a little bit here. And we can go ahead and just boot it up. We could also ask the agent to boot up the Android emulator, but why waste tokens on that? But I am going to show you here that you can actually just query and say, hey, what Android emulators are on my machine, basically. And this will invoke either the MCP server or the Canvas directly to tell us, because they're all sharing that sort of shared layer here. And we can see the exact output here from mobile device list. And I have two of them. There we go. So one's shut down and one is currently booting. So we have that state. So I'm going to let it boot here. And of course, Android emulators take a few seconds. So I'll speed this up. Okay, perfect. Our Android emulator is up and running, and now I can go ahead and interact with it. So I could go ahead and swipe up, I could swipe down, I could click on items, and we can go ahead and interact with it directly inside the canvas, which is kind of crazy, to be honest with you. And it's sending those events back and forth. So I can also go back into settings. I could adjust this into dark mode. I could adjust the different scale. I have a lot of different capabilities, and including the frame rates here too. I could take a screenshot that'll save it locally on my device. And I could, of course, ask the agent to do these things too. So refreshing it, stopping it, checking the device data, erasing the content, erasing the device. And I can even detach it outside of here too. So if I wanted to pop it out, it's good to go. All right, let's go ahead and just run the application. So I'm going to go ahead down here now and say, let's run the application with .NET Run. Since I am, building my application, I don't need to like rebuild it or do an ADB install. I can just do .NET Run in this case, and it'll deploy it to the actual emulator that's already there. And in this case, it's going to go off and it's going to try to use some MCP tools to see what the device identifier is that's up and running. And then it's going to run the .NET command. Perfect. So now with that approved, it's going to take a few seconds here to deploy my application over to the Android emulator. And the best part here is that if I'm on a single window, right, I see everything directly inside of one application. That's super duper nice. All right, the app is started up, so I could go ahead and click around on it myself to test the functionality, just like I showed earlier, but you can also go ahead and ask the agent to do it. So because those MCP tools are exposed, I'm just going to go ahead and tell it, yeah, let's navigate around. It's going to call into that MCP. It's going to ask for permission to do these different commands. And then it's going to go ahead and just click around. It's going to go ahead and explore the application. So in this case, it's going to try to tap on the different UI elements that I have in the tabs, and then navigate through the application, verify, take screenshots along the way. And the reason why this is so nice is because if I'm implementing a new piece of functionality, I can go in and say, implement this, and then go ahead, launch it inside the mobile device canvas and test the functionality out. Because now the agent can interact and it can see everything, not only on Android, but also on iOS, it can really give me that direct feedback loop without having to leave, in this case, the GitHub Copilot app. It's awesome to be able to set it up in just seconds. All right, there you have it. That is the mobile device plugin that you can get through John Dick's Marketplace. You can install this anywhere through the command line, through the GitHub Copilot app, so you get that canvas or in your favorite agent. Let me know if you really are digging this and what else you'd want to see. It's been awesome to see what John Dick and the Maui team have been doing and what the community has been building around GitHub Copilot app canvases. It's kind of mind-boggling just to see it all right there. All right, that's going to do it for this video. So until next time, thanks for watching.